Hey everyone, it's Will. I've been meaning to make this video for a while, so it's going to be a little bit more serious. I hope you enjoy it. This is going to be my contribution to the coming out story archive. So here is my coming out story. I came out halfway through my freshman year in high school, and I had just broken up with my last girlfriend at the time, and I had just decided that I was done pretending to be someone who I wasn't. I am the only person in charge of making myself happy, so I broke up with her and I came out to all of my friends. I grew up in a more conservative part of Florida, so some of my friends had a tough time accepting it, which is understandable, but they eventually realized that being gay didn't define me. It was just a part of who I was, just another trait of me. And I never felt the need to change who I was because I'm gay. I was always the same person, and I think that made everything easier. I was always the same Will. And I was fortunate enough to grow up in a high school where there was a lot of conservative people, but they were respectful. I showed everyone respect. They treated me with respect. So there wasn't a single time in high school that I was slandered. No one ever called me faggot. No one ever called me queer or, a gay or whatever. But that wasn't the case in elementary school or middle school. I was always picked on. They always called me gay. I would go home crying on a regular basis. So I'm sure we all have our war stories. But high school was actually really cool because I had a lot of really close friends who accepted me for who I was. And they never made a real issue out of it, and I'm grateful for that. During my 10th grade year, I kind of fell in lust with this other boy, and it was kind of off and on. It was iffy because I was out, I was fine with it, but he didn't want to come out, and it was completely understandable because, it was difficult for him because he wasn't out and he wasn't as comfortable being out as I was. So things ended badly and I was very upset about it, and my mother, she accosted me. She was like, "Will, why are you so upset?" And I told her that I didn't want to tell her, that she didn't need to know. She finally kept pestering me and I told her, and she was like, "Yeah, I know, Will." And I was like, "What the fuck, why didn't you tell me? It would have made everything so much easier." So that's when my mother found out, whenever I was in 10th grade, officially anyway. And then about a few years later, maybe a year later, my brother found out, and apparently he found out through my MySpace, which is very ceremonial. So his wife at the time told me that he knew, and you have to keep in mind, my brother is a really, 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 conservative person. He goes hunting. He and I are like polar opposites, but he told my sister-in-law at the time that it didn't matter that I was gay because I was the coolest fucking person that he knew, and that he loved me to death and nothing would ever change that. And that broke my heart. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it that my brother loved me so much, and our relationship couldn't be any better now. My father, on the other hand, is a different story entirely. I haven't really told him that I'm gay, but if he doesn't know it now, something's up. I'm pretty sure he has a good idea. It was never explicitly said in front of him. So, I hope you can't hear my laptop. So yeah, my father, it's never been brought up in conversation in front of him. So, but my grandmother, a couple of weeks ago, I went to lunch with her, and she was like, "Oh yes, I want to." Keep in mind, my grandmother is a completely devout Mormon, and she came up to me. She's like, "Oh yeah, I would like to meet your special friend." And I was like, what special friend are you talking about? She's like, "Oh yeah, your boyfriend." And I was like, "Okay, whoa, back up. When did you know that I had a boyfriend? How long have you known that I'm gay?" And she said, "Oh, a while." So, I mean, I'm pretty sure, like everyone in the world knows I'm gay already, and I just don't know about it. They don't want to tell me. I've always felt that being gay was like a trait. It was just being like having brown hair or being white. It's just a part of me. It doesn't define who I am, and I'm not gonna let it. So that is my riveting coming out story. I hope you enjoyed it. This is a good opportunity for my subscribers to learn a little bit more about me and who I am and who to subscribe to and stuff. So, but I just wanted to add that if you yourself are having trouble coming out, don't worry. We all had our trouble coming out, trust me. But I'm going to give you some advice that got me through the whole situation. You are the only person in charge of making yourself happy. Do not come out for anyone else other than yourself. If you spend your life trying to make others happy, you will never be happy in the end. So, at this time, it's time for you to look out for yourself and what's best for you, because you're the only one who knows what's best for you. That's the best advice that anyone has ever given me. Alright, well, I'm done here, so I'm gonna go. I hope you enjoyed this. I bid you all a good night, and I will talk to you later.